right.
Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take a fuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back with another episode. And today, we're going to be talking about a new tournament, the CBC, and we're going to be talking about the Final Four of the NIT. So, we got two CBC games today. We got, to kick off the CBC, we got Oklahoma versus Colorado, and we got Baylor versus, that's how I do it off the top of my head. I can't remember. Let me look at my notes. Baylor versus Minnesota. 30 minutes after. And then tomorrow we have West Virginia versus Stanford and Rutgers versus Creighton. NIT-wise, we have New Mexico versus Tulsa, and we have Illinois State, the shocker of the NIT, in my opinion, taking on Auburn. So should be a fun little 6 games to go over. Now, I also want to leave y'all with this disclaimer. I tried my hardest to find the CBC roster. Some were easier than others. So if I say a player and they are not playing, charge it to Google, charge it to the internet. I looked everywhere for some of these things. So, without further ado, we're going to start with the CBC first because they're obviously only 8 teams, so they're in the quarterfinal. NIT's in the Final Four, so we're going to save that last. And we're going to start with Oklahoma being 9.5-point favorites against Colorado. Again, the game's at 8 o'clock today on Fox Sports 1. Now, Colorado is without Dak. They're without their leading scorer, Isaiah Johnson. So they were out key pieces today. So a lot of guys are going to have to step up and be put in situations they're not normally a part of. While Oklahoma, they got their main nucleus. They got their main group of guys. They're without some guys, but their main group is intact. And Oklahoma is led by Nigel Pack, who's averaging 16.5 points per game, 3.1 rebounds. Xavier Brown averaging 15.3 points per game, 1.3 steals. And Tate Davis averaging 12.5 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, who has experience of winning a tournament being the NIT with Seton Hall. X factor for Oklahoma to me is going to be Muhammad Wagyu, and his rebounding and scoring, averaging 7.1 points per game and 6.7 rebounds per game. I think that's going to be big for Oklahoma, especially going against the Colorado team again, where they lose a lot of their pieces with Dak and Isaiah Johnson. But for Colorado, they do have a bright spot, and that is Barrington Hargraves. He's playing. He's averaging 14.2 points per game, 4.5 assists. Now, some guys that's going to have to step up are Alam McCallie, averaging 6.7 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, and Jalen Holland averaging 5 points per game. The guard, he's going to definitely, some guard is going to have to step up big time to help replace Isaiah Johnson, who is their leading scorer. And the X factor to me is going to be Josiah Sanders, and he's going to have to also help with the guard play that is lacking with, again, Isaiah Johnson not being there. So, with that being said, I am taking Oklahoma to win because they do have their main nucleus of guys. Well, Colorado is missing 3 key pieces. I forgot who the third guy is who's missing. Let me just look it up real quick because I definitely forgot who it was. But, yeah, Oklahoma got their guys. Colorado's missing a ton of talent. So I am taking Oklahoma in this one. Again, man, it just sucks. But that's just how it is sometimes. Oops, wrong. That's not what I meant to click. Why did that just pop up? I don't know. It was the South Carolina schedule for some reason. I don't know why that popped up. Shout out South Carolina. Heard we got a big recruit, but bro, why is this game not popping up? I'm trying so hard to get to it. Here we go. They are missing Isaiah Johnson. They are missing Dak. Oh, and Rancic. So those are the three guys that missing from Colorado. But we're going to move on to this game. Should be fun. Baylor versus Minnesota. Now, from what I found, everybody's main guys are playing. I confirmed saw Tunde Yasafu's playing, Cam Carr's playing, and for Minnesota, I confirmed that Cade Tyson, Isaac Asuma, Jalen Crocker Johnson, those guys are all playing. But again, Baylor is playing Minnesota. They are 3.5-point favorites in this matchup. The game is 30 minutes after Oklahoma, Colorado tonight, on Fox Sports 1. Baylor led by Cam Carr. Cam Carr is averaging 19.2 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 1.3 blocks. Tunde Yasafu averaging 17.8 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, and 2 steals. And Obin Agbem, who Obi, excuse me. I couldn't find a confirmation, but I think he is playing. Obi Agbem, 10.7 points per game. Now, the X factor to me is going to be Dan Skinners Jr. Again, couldn't find a confirmation, but I do think he is playing. And he has a ton of experience. I believe Dan Skinners is either a junior or a senior, but he's averaging 9.6 points per game. So I think his scoring ability is going to be big to add on against Minnesota. Now, Minnesota, they're led by Cade Tyson. Cade Tyson is averaging 19.6 points per game, 5.4 rebounds. Jalen Crocker Johnson, 13.4 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, and 1 block. And Isaac Asuma, 11.1 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, 3.8 assists, and 1.3 steals per game. Now, that X factor to me is going to be Langston Reynolds. His ability to attack the basket and to facilitate, he's averaging 4.6 assists per game, which is leading Minnesota. So I think his ability to help Isaac Asuma generate some offense, I think that'd be big. So Cade Tyson doesn't have to, generate as much himself, because Cade Tyson's the guy who can generate his own offense, but he's a shooter. You would love to set him up and get him open shots. But ultimately, I'm going with Baylor. I like Baylor a ton, and I think Baylor against better opponents, they have showed up. I know Minnesota had to cut their bench at one point due to like injuries and stuff like that. I like Baylor here in this matchup. I think Cam Carr is going to be tough for Minnesota to stop. I think Tunde Yasafu is going to be attacking the paint like crazy. Now, not to say that Minnesota can't create their own offense, just like I said, Langston Reynolds and Isaac Asuma could create their own offense. But ultimately, I like Baylor in this spot, man. I think Scott Drew is a great coach. I think Baylor gets the job done. Next, we have Stanford versus West Virginia tomorrow, 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Now, these rosters I found these rosters. So these rosters are set. But Stanford, they're 1.5-point favorites in this matchup tomorrow at 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, which, I think this is going to be a good matchup. But they are led by Ebuka Okiri, averaging 22.8 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 1.6 steals. Benny Gaylor, averaging 11.1 points per game, 1.6 steals. And Jeremy Dent-Smith, averaging 8.4 points per game. Now, the X factor to me is going to be Ryan Agarwal, counteracting the three-point shooting abilities of Jasper Floyd and Honor Huff, who's shooting it at 35.6% from three. That is Ryan shooting at 35.6%. Now, West Virginia, they're led by Honor Huff. Honor Huff last season led Chattanooga with Trey Bonham to the NIT Championship. So he also has experience of winning the NIT. He's averaging 15.8 points per game and 1 steal for West Virginia. Brennan Laurier averaging 11.6 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks. And Chance Moore averaging 10.3 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game. Now, that X factor to me is going to be Jasper Floyd, averaging 7.2 points per game. His scoring ability will be big to me as well, putting on points. And my winners, actually, I'm going with the upset. I'm taking West Virginia here. Stanford, to me, relies too much on Okuri scoring ability. Benny Gaylor, he can shoot the ball, he can score the rock, but I think they're too dependent on one guy, and I'm not really a fan of that, especially against a West Virginia team who can attack you in multiple ways. And then down low as well with Obina. So I'm taking West Virginia as an upset in this matchup. In the last EBC game we got for y'all is another Big Ten matchup. We got Rutgers versus Creighton tomorrow, 30 minutes after Stanford versus West Virginia on Fox Sports 1. Again, that is tomorrow. Now, Rutgers, kind of found the roster, kind of didn't. So I did see that Tariq Francis is playing. Everything else, if they don't play, I tried. Now for Creighton, I think that the Creighton website kind of gave away their roster. Again, wasn't solidified. I tried. But Josh Dix is playing. So for Creighton, that is one thing I did find solidified. Everything else, hey man, I tried. But Tariq Francis, 16.9 points per game, 1.1 steals for Rutgers. Dylan Grant averaging 9.8 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game. And JaMychal Davis averaging 7.2 points per game. Now, the X factor to me is Darren Buchanan, who's going to have to help on the perimeter perimeter defense, because Creighton loves to shoot the three ball. So Rutgers' perimeter defense is going to have to be on point. So I think Darren Buchanan is going to help in that. Now, Creighton is led by Josh Dix, averaging 13 points per game, 3.8 rebounds. Nick Graves, 10.5 points per game, 4.3 assists per game, 1 steal. And Austin Schwartz, who has some big games, averaging 10.9 points per game. Now, the X factor to me is going to be Jason Green and his scoring ability. He can shoot the three ball, averaging 10.2 points per game and 6.1 rebounds per game. He's going to have to help Creighton rebound as well. But I also went with the upset here, and I went with Rutgers because I've seen Rutgers play great perimeter defense. I've seen them lock up guards. I've seen them play hard. And Creighton, on the other hand, I've seen them blow games. I don't really like how Creighton was playing in a Big East conference schedule. I think Rutgers can attack the basket on Creighton. Creighton is, again, live and die by the three ball, which can get dicey, especially if you get down too quick and somebody's playing really good perimeter defense. So I'm taking Rutgers as a 4.5-point dog in this matchup to beat Creighton in the last CBC quarterfinal game. And that is it for the CBC. We will move on to the NIT, where we have 2 games, and they will be tomorrow. And the first game is New Mexico taking on Tulsa. Now, New Mexico has been playing extraordinarily well in this NIT. Tulsa has as well, but Tulsa tried to blow that game to Wichita State to get here. But New Mexico is 3.5-point favorites. Again, this is a neutral site now. I believe this is all in Indy now. Hold on. Is it Indy? Let me double check, because it might not actually, because I know the Final Four is in Indy. So let me double check that. But the Final Four in the NIT is definitely all neutral site. So no more home games, no more away games. The games are in. They are, God dang, Indy. They are at Hinkle Fieldhouse. So I know I wasn't tripping. So the Final Four, they can't be all at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Yeah, okay. Final Four is at Lucas Oil Stadium. Got it. Cool. But New Mexico, they're led by Jake Hall, averaging 16.3 points per game. Tomislav Bulhan, averaging 13.2 points per game, 10.4 rebounds, and 1.1 steals. And Dayton Aubrey, who came back and played 15 minutes versus St. Joe's, but he's averaging 11.8 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, 1.4 steals. And if you was wondering what he came back from an illness, not an injury. But the X factor to be still Uriah Tenet. Since he's been this NIT, he's been averaging 14 points per game and 4.3 assists per game in the NIT. So he's definitely been balling, and a major reason for New Mexico's NIT success. While Tulsa, they're led by David Green, averaging 15.7 points per game, 4.6 rebounds. Tyler Riley, averaging 15 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, 4.4 assists. And Miles Barnstable, averaging 14.8 points per game, 3.8 rebounds. Their X factor to me is a Dave Papula, who's averaging 15.3 points per game in the NIT, shooting the three ball very well. He is going to be big to help break open that New Mexico defense. Now, ultimately went with my winner being New Mexico, because if y'all remember, New Mexico is one of my favorites, as well as Dayton, which Dayton took that L because of Javon Bennett injury and things got ugly early against Illinois State. But they were one of my favorites with Dayton to win it. Now, Dayton's out. New Mexico might be, I don't know. Auburn's been actually playing well lately too. But New Mexico, I just think Tulsa scares me with the vulnerability on offense. They could be really hot. And we've seen against Wichita State, they went up like 24. And Wichita State was able to take the lead late in the second half. Now, ultimately, they made plays to win it. But that kind of scares me. And I think New Mexico is a team that if you do that with, you probably won't escape that game. So I'm going to take New Mexico in this one. And the last game we have for y'all today is, again, the shocker of the tournament, in my opinion. Illinois State taking on Auburn 30 minutes after New Mexico versus Tulsa on ESPN, so same channel. where we have Illinois State led by Chase Walker, averaging 13.7 points per game, 5.4 rebounds, and 1 steal. Johnny Kinzinger averaging 11.7 points per game, 1.3 steals, and Tyreek Coleman averaging 9.8 points per game off the bench. Now, the X factor to me, this guy is really going to have to step up. He's not been playing well in the NIT. He's only been averaging 5.3 points per game, shooting 9.1% from the three-point line, and that's Bowden Scumberg. He's going to have to knock down some trades to counteract this Auburn offensive lately. Now, Auburn, led by Keyshawn Hall, averaging 19.4 points per game, 6.9 rebounds. Tahad Pettiford, averaging 15.3 points per game, 3.7 assists, and 1.1 steals. And Kevin Overton, averaging 13.7 points per game, 1.1 steals. Now, the X factor to me is going to be Philippe Jovic. In this tournament, he's averaging 10.7 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, stepping up in the absence of Keyshawn Murphy. So he's going to be big, help dominate the paint with Keyshawn Hall. But my winner, and Illinois State fans, I know every round I've picked against y'all, and the trend is not going to stop here. I'm taking Auburn, man. Auburn's been playing they've been playing really well. The Nevada game really surprised me. I really thought Nevada could beat Auburn, and Auburn really dominated that game from start to finish. I don't like how Auburn started in the South Alabama game, but they got hot and ended up winning by double digits. I don't like how they ended the Seattle game, but ultimately they won the game. Seattle didn't have a chance of winning. They just cut it to 5. It was like double digits throughout, if I remember correctly. But I just have Auburn winning this game, meeting New Mexico in the championship. And yeah, that's all we have for y'all today. I will be back. I think I'm back Friday. I'm not sure. If I'm not back Friday, then I'm back Saturday. But we better look right now. Nope, we won't be back till Saturday. The semifinals for the CBC start Saturday, and then obviously the Final Four start Saturday. So we'll be back super early Saturday morning to get the CBC and the Final Four. I'm gonna throw in the NIT. I'm gonna make the NIT its own championship show, unless the CBC championship is on that Sunday. Yep, that Sunday will be both CBC and NIT. So I won't be back till Saturday. But you got 6 games of college basketball in between to hold you over. But please like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the channel, it helps the network. Speaking of the network, we have multiple shows on the network, starting with the main show featuring Joe Tomo and Dave every Monday and Thursday between 7 and 8:30ish. So make sure you check that out. We had Unfazed go live yesterday, 9:45. Make sure you check them out. That's featuring Joe and AJ. Some NBA topics, some NFL topics. Make sure you check them out. We have BWT. My Tigers pissed me off 2 nights in a row. Tigers 2-4 right now. Blew a 5-1 lead in the 8th inning last night. Then Tarek Screwball pitches extraordinarily well. Didn't do certain things for me while pitching, but pitched a great game. Lose 1-0. So Tigers 2-4. I told Teddy this offense ain't it. And so far, we looking like this offense ain't it. But make sure y'all check out BWT. Pretty sure he might be going over both I don't think he went over the Yankees and Giants series. Maybe he did. Maybe I missed it. But I'm pretty sure he's about to go over the Yankees and Mariners series. So make sure you check that out. They won that series 2-1. Next, we have FFC, Fantasy Football. Oh, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Ono the King. Good stuff. You definitely know your hoops, Lobos. Hey, I don't know if you're new here, but I've been a fan of New Mexico for like a minute. Even dating back to like Hugh Greenwood. Shout out Hugh Greenwood. He was a dog. But I got on my bucket list to go to a game at the Pit. I love the environment at the Pit. I love watching New Mexico basketball, especially at the Pit. But shout out to you, bro, for being for tuning in and stuff like that. Definitely appreciate that. But we got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Now, obviously, fantasy football season's over because NFL season's over, college football season's over, but you got UFL football. UFL football started last week. It was pretty solid. I enjoyed it. But make sure y'all check in, tune into that for the content he has to drop. Next, we have RBO Real Ballers Only. My Pistons won against the Raptors last night. Man, shout out Tony Brothers, man. How you gonna tee my man Asar because he told his coach, to challenge or call? What is that? The NBA has to rescind that tech. That's crazy. But we still got the job done. But for playoffs is less than 2 weeks away. Is less than 2 weeks away. So tune in to RBO for content there. We got Dave's Doghouse highlights and lowlights of sport. Tony Brothers need to be in the doghouse. That tech on the saw was crazy. So make sure you check out Dave. We got In the Red Corner, who just went live Sunday, featuring Tyreek and Tomo. Boxing episode for all your boxing needs. Make sure you check out In the Red Corner. They're going live on Sundays. Not every Sunday, but when they do go live, it is on Sundays. And that is around 6:30. And last but not least, we have Zero Sports Talk with Griffey, and AJ's Birds, new shows on the channel. AJ's Birds actually went live earlier today discussing Jalen Hurts. He was blinded by rage about Jalen Hurts. Can't lie. If you either Jalen Hurts defender or Jalen Hurts hater, go check out AJ's Birds, because that's literally what the whole episode was about. And that's all the shows we have on the network. So please like, comment, share, subscribe on the channel. On this channel as well as those channels. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. And without further ado, I'm gone till Saturday. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.